All right, welcome in everybody. This is Timothy with Mana Rocks. We are doing something a little out of the ordinary today. We are going to do a Lorwyn Phantom Flashback draft. And before this pack loads up, I should let you know I've never drafted Lorwyn. I don't know much about the set. I know it's a tribal set. I know there are lots of cycles in the set, and I know most of the tribes. I'm familiar with a lot of the cards that see play in Commander and modern stuff like that. The cryptic command type cards, stuff like that. But there are a lot of commons and uncommons that I'm sure are going to be new to me. So what I'm going to try to do here is just wing it, basically. I've not really looked up much information about it or anything along those lines. I'm just going to try to go in and see if I know what's going on. A lot of cards from Lorwyn have been reprinted in Master Set, so I'm familiar with them there. But I'm just unfamiliar with a lot of things overall. So, for instance, this thing 4 mana, 5/5, Vigilance, First Strike, Champion at Kithkin, Elvish Promenade makes an elf for each elf you control. I mean, let me just reserve the rare and see what happens. Flamekin and Blade Whirl, 1 mana, 2/1. Oh, this is just like that pirate. Oh wow, Thundercloud Shaman. I do know this card is very strong. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to the number of giants you control to each non-giant creature. I remember this card from the first Modern Masters, and it was a beating there. Giants, I think, is a thing you can draft here. Plus, there are these little changelings, and I assume changelings are good since they can fit in any tribe. I don't know how many giants you can expect to have in a deck, but first pick in this seems pretty strong, and I'm a little skeptical of the champion cards because they do require you to have a little bit of work put into them. Although 5/5 First Strike Vigilance seems pretty strong. I don't know which of these is better. Fog Hoodlums can't block, enters the battlefield, clash if you win, put a 1/1 counter. Changeling doesn't untap. Ooh, 1 mana tapper, Gideon's Lawkeeper. Kithkin Dagger Dare. Yeah, I just don't know a lot of these cards. I do know Horde of Notions, and I'm for sure not taking it here. I don't even like this card. I guess I should be looking at Giants first off, and then other stuff after that. When it enters the battlefield, destroy a land. Counter target non-fairy spell. Whenever a forest enters, gets +2/+2. Whenever you cast a true foe, it's +2/+2. Whenever you cast a spell, reveal Goblin. Same thing as the other one. You lose 2 life and draw 2 cards, then clash with an opponent. If you win, repeat this process. That seems like it could be pretty good. A draw 4, lose 4 potentially. Whenever blank enters the battlefield, create 3 1/1 Kithkin soldier creature tokens. Sack a Kithkin, gain a life. Can't block. Flying first strike. Giant spells cost 2 less to cast, but it's a 3 mana 1/3. Target merfolk gets +1/+1 and gains Island Walk. Target land becomes an island. I'm leaning towards this. I don't know how aggressive this format is. Enters battlefield, untapped target creature gets +1/+1 in Vigilance. Alright, well, not 100% sure here. What's this giant? 8 mana. When it enters battlefield, create 2 3/1s. Elemental Shaman. Sacrifice an elemental. Target goblin, or target this thing, giant, gets +3/+1. Whenever an attacking Kithkin or Elephant is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may draw a card. An attacking one? That's weird. Kithkin Greatheart, as long as you control a giant, gets +1/+1 and it has first strike. Alright, that seems like it could be decent. I don't know how reasonable 8 mana is. 6 mana, 6/4 vanilla. 2 mana, 2/2 changeling. Sacrifice a search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand. Destroy target enchantment, clash with an opponent, destroy all enchantments. Creatures your target player gets control. Yeah. Alright, I might just take the little 2-drop over the 8-drop. I don't know how reliable an 8-drop is here, and I already have a 5 and a 7. This seems very unlikely to be what we want, right? You guys tell me. If you know Lorwyn, then tell me whether or not that's good. Ingot Chewer destroys an artifact. I know that one. I know Crypt Swap, and it is a removal spell. There's also Lignify, which basically removes a card from the battlefield. Lowland 4 mana 3/3. Tap. Target goblin creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains flying until end of turn. What? Okay. Foot Bottom Feast. Put any number of target creature cards on top of your library. So this is Graveswell or whatever it's called. It gains Island Walk until end of turn. I like Vivids. I think Vivids are just generally good, and I imagine they've got to be good in limited. Destroy target creature, clash with an opponent. If you win, gain life equal to its toughness. That seems good. Heal the scars, regenerate target creature, gain life equal to its power. Ingot Chewer, I might just take Crypt Swap. I don't know if given your opponent a Shapeshift and Changeling is good, but it is a removal spell, right? It's another Thought Whiff Trio, which leads me to believe that maybe Thought Whiff Trio is not as good as it seems, considering it's coming fourth pick. That, or maybe I'm just drafting with other people who haven't played this set. I know the Harbinger cycle. They get to go fetch up one of their own and put it on top. Blind Spot Golem, this is a giant that can't attack unless you control another giant. So this is like Ember Beast. It's statted the same, but or Ember Beast might be a 3/4, but this seems okay. I currently have 2 giants here and a card I might not play. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to target tapped Merfolk or Kithkin. This is so weird. There are a lot of like cross functionality between the tribes here. Prevent next 1 damage, Lignify. I would probably take the Vivid here if I just didn't know what to take, but if I'm trying to do this Giants thing, then I see taking Giants as probably a good thing. Giant Harbinger, so this one lets you go search up a giant and put it on top of your library, which seems pretty good with Thundercloud. Is it a card or a creature? Huh. So these can fetch up like the tribal instance too. Although this one is... Oh, this is a changeling, so it does have all creature types. We also have Goat Napper. 3 mana 2/2 when it enters battlefield. Untap target goat and can... What? Okay, that's a thing apparently. I'm just getting a feel for some of these other cards while I'm looking through the packs. Exile an Elf gets +3/+3. Huh. Beginning of your end step, clash with an opponent. If you win, gain... Oh, I see. So that goes back and forth. Oh, this is a bizarre looking card. It gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each other attacking Kithkin. We have another Stink Drinker Devil. I imagine if Giants is open, this is the type of card that's gonna wheel because it's very understated, I assume, and a lot of people don't want it. Does seem like it'd be okay with what we have so far. I don't know how good the combat trick is here, but it seems pretty decent as well. And I guess Moonglove Extract is removal. Could also just take another giant here, Hillcomer Giant. 4 mana 3/3, sometimes unblockable, seems okay. I'm gonna go and put this green thing in the sideboard for now. There's some ramp and fertile ground there. Boggart Forager. 1 red, sack it, target player shuffles their library. Okay, whatever. 6 mana 5/3 can block an additional creature. Whenever it blocks 2 or more creature, gains first strike. That seems pretty sweet. Rune Stalactite. This turns anything at all into every creature type. That might be worth it. I don't know about this 6 mana thing right here. It doesn't block particularly well on single creatures, but it seems like it blocks well if it's double blocking. Just basically stops your opponent from, what am I trying to say? From swinging multiple creatures in. I'm just going to stay on theme with the Giants and hope to get those Stink Drinker or whatever's back. Soulbright Flamekin is nice. I forgot Elementals were a part of this set. I didn't forget that, but it just slipped my mind there. Firebelly Changeling, 2 mana, 1/1. Gets Fire Breathing, can only activate it twice per turn. I think I'm going to take it because it is a giant, and I think I want to stick to that theme right now. I don't know how rewarded you get for doing so, but this is pick number 9. Let's see if we start getting those Stink Drinkers back. Hurly Burly is a card that I just generally hate, but at the same time, I don't know how effective it is in this format. I see some elves and some Kithkin running around, so I could definitely see there being a bunch of 1 mana or 1 toughness creatures floating around. I guess fairies too, right? So I'm going to take that as a sideboard card over this weird card, which seems okay, I guess. Needle Drop. This deals a damage to something that's already been dealt damage. Shields, +1/+1. Nah, we're not taking that. I guess I'll take this 6 mana 6/4. It doesn't look particularly exciting. And the Stink Drinkers are not coming back, which means maybe I'm fighting someone for Giants. Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to any target this turn. Well, seems better than any of the other cards I'm not playing. Could just take Lignify in the off chance that... Yeah, I'm not feeling this Kithkin very much. I'm just going to take this. Maybe I pick up some Vivids. I can play this as a removal spell or something like that. 5/7 Vigilance Trample, protection from goblins. Okay. I don't know if we started off well or not. Seems like we've got a lot of beef here. I don't know how aggressive the format is. I know Thundercloud Shaman is fantastic. And I know some of these other cards are acceptable. I'm actually a little skeptical of the Crib Swap. I'm not sure if giving your opponent a Changeling is a good idea or not. Auntie's Hovel, this is a Goblin land, essentially. Herbal Poultice. Sacrifice it, regenerate a creature. Tarfire. Deals 2 damage to any target. That seems decent. Judge Occurrence. Oh, that seems annoying with all the tapping that goes on. Kithkin Harbinger, not what we want for our deck. I could consider this Kithkin Greatheart here. What is Soaring Hope? 5 mana, enchant creature, gain 3 life, has flying, and you can put this back on top of your library. Okay, that's a lot going on there. I'm gonna take Tarfire. I've got to imagine 1 red shock is still pretty good, right? And there are a lot of these little creatures floating around, so I imagine Tarfire is probably pretty good. Also gets your Tarmogoyf up to a 6/7, so there's that. Not a thing that really matters. Alright, what are we looking for? I don't know. I have no earthly clue what we're looking for. I also don't know if any of the rares that I'm passing are worth any tickets online. I gotta imagine the Kithkin thing is not, but who really knows? This is another one of those 8 mana things. Makes 3/1/1s. This card seems very, very powerful, but how am I casting that? I don't have any ramp. Could take Lash Out. Lash Out is a 3 damage instant speed removal spell that's just Lightning Strike. Doesn't hit the player, but if you win the clash, you do get to hit the player, and I don't know how I feel about this 8 mana 5/5. Pepper Smoke's a nice one. This was also in Modern Masters. I know Mournwelk as well. This is the weird Merfolk version of what's it called? Spread and Seize, and Silver Gill Adept is nice. Untap all Merfolk you control. Seems pretty decent. Merfolk's whole thing is like tapping them down for some sort of value, and then being able to untap them lets you double up, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I do like adding these random removal spells. That seems pretty good. Worth noting that this hits non-giant, so it's probably very bad in the mirror match, I guess. Although Hilmcomer Giant, there we go. That's how we break the mirror with Mountain Walk. Neither of these 6-drops seem particularly great. Was that another Thundercloud Shaman? There's also an Oblivion Ring. Wow. And a Vivid Crag. Oh, Makeshift Mannequin's a sweet one too. Eye Blight's ending. This pack seems like it's very good. I imagine O-Ring is just first pickable, and Makeshift Mannequin seems decent. Vivid Crag's nice. I'm gonna take this other Thundercloud Shaman. If we're good against little creature decks, we're gonna be very good against little creature decks. And I'm passing up on an Oblivion Ring, which I don't know if that's right or wrong. Anybody who's played this format can tell me what's a better pick. If I'm already in Giants, is Thundercloud Giant just better than Oblivion Ring? I'm thinking back to playing this card in the first Modern Masters, and how it was just such a beating against an opponent, even if you weren't super dedicated to Giants. Plus, I think all of my creatures are Giants except for this Kithkin, which I don't even think this card's very good, but who knows. The fact that I have this Harbinger to fetch him up seems nice. The problem here, though, is if Lorwyn is actually an aggressive format, then I can see just having these 6-drops be not very good. The removal seems okay too. There's like Eye Blight Tendon. Black has a 5 mana, kill 3 or whatever, or kill 1. Enters the battlefield. Up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. You can evoke it for 2. Goblins you control and elementals you control have. Okay. Inner Flame Acolyte, double green, gets put. Whenever it enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains haste. And Smoke Raider taps for elementals. So looks like elementals are pretty open here. I'm just not even really looking at the green cards. I can see this being okay as a way to push in damage. This doesn't seem like what I want. Inner Flame Acolyte seems decent. 3 mana 2/2. Pumps another creature up. Smoke Raider only taps for elementals, so I'm not too big into that. I don't know how I feel about this card, but I'm going to go ahead and take it. And we'll see if it's good or not. I guess you could also just evoke this in a pinch to pump up one of your other creatures and give it haste. I imagine you don't want to do that very often, but Evoke is a nice flexible mechanic. Ooh, Mask Admirers is a good one. So we already know Goat Napper. It lets you steal your opponent's goats. There's Boggart Sprite Chaser. These names are ridiculous. As long as you control a fairy, it gets +1/+1. It has flying. Destroy land, right? Dawn Fluke, 4 mana, flash. When it enters the battlefield, prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to any target this turn. Yeah, not too into that. I could take the Stalactite now. I only have a couple creatures that are not giants, though, so I don't imagine it's too great. I could just take another one of these and look to be like an aggressive deck. I guess one reason to take Goat Napper is that it does steal your opponent's changelings or anything that they've turned into a goat. It's an uncommon, too. I'll look for some interactions with this where my opponent maybe has their own rune stalactite and has turned a creature into a goat. This has got to be uncommon for a reason. I don't know if it's better than another one of these, but it seems fine. Whenever you clash, you may pay 1 if you do create a 3/1. And if you won the clash, if you won the clash, it gains haste. Huh. Well, I only have 1 clash card, and I'm probably going to take another one here. Lash Out, I know, is good. I mean, Lash Out's in just modern cubes, right? I don't think this card's very good, although it seems pretty strong with these big creatures. This is bizarre looking. I don't think we want the Regenerate thing or a Merfolk. 2/4, when it enters the battlefield, if you win a clash, put a 1/1 counter. So 4 mana, 3/5 potentially. Also, this art is just what is happening here? What is happening? Probably play this as a Hill Giant. Lash Out's got to be good though. I find it hard to believe that this card is not just good all the time. It's like Draconic Roar, just any of those effects that deal 3 to a creature at instant speed. Consuming Bonfire, 5 mana, choose 1, deals 4 damage to target non-elemental or 7 damage to a tree folk. Well, that's bizarre. Can't be blocked by creatures power 4 or greater, and Wispmare destroys an enchantment, right? Oh, this is Shelldock Isle. This is not what I thought it was. I thought this was a blue Vivid. It is not. 4 damage to target non-elemental creature. I think I'm going to take this over the enchantment removal. I guess I could take the enchantment removal and just sideboard it. This is going to kill most things, right? But it's another 5-drop. I don't know how much I need enchantment removal in this set, but this seems serviceable. Decent sideboard card, I imagine. I haven't seen too many enchantments, although there are a lot of build-around enchantments. When it enters the battlefield, clash with opponent. If you win, put a 1/1 counter, so 2 mana 3/2 potentially. Gets +1/+0. Another Hurly Burly, another one of these bad unblockable things. Fertile Ground. I guess a 2 mana 2/1 that is occasionally a 2 mana 3/2 seems pretty decent here. Hurly Burly is still just a sideboard option, right? I am seeing a lot of 1 toughness creatures though, so I don't know if Hurly Burly's main deckable here. But it seems like it's a hoser for fairy decks. There are a lot of Kithkins that have 1 toughness, a lot of goblins, a lot of elves. Seems decent. This card was in the second conspiracy set where there were almost no 1 toughness creatures, so I'm not sure why I was there. As much as I love taking rares and putting them in my collection, I think I'm going to take Kithkin Greatheart. Seems pretty easy pick there. I am going to be weary of taking non-giants though, because I don't want to sweep my own board with things like Thundercloud Shaman. So this one's a little skeptical, but it seems like a decent card. 2 mana 2/1's probably serviceable here. Probably want it to be a 3/2 though. And I've got some pretty high-end cards here to win clashes off of. I've got, what, 3 clash cards? So I don't know about that enchantment that makes 3/1s, but it seems like a sweet little build around. Alright, I'm going to take this giant now and just put an 8 mana card in my deck, because why not? You can't stop me. I'm probably going to end up cutting probably like these top 2 or something like that. I don't know how likely you are to get to the point in the game where you're casting 8 mana spells if you have no ramp at all. But this wheeling seems, I mean, probably like a signal that, hey, giant, this is not a card you want to be playing if nobody's taking it. The giants have seemed pretty open in this pack, though. So it could take Soulbright Flamekin, which is a way to cast an 8 mana spell. It turns 6 mana into 8 mana. Ingot Chewer destroys artifacts, which I haven't seen much of. Or I could take a Vivid Crag, which could let me splash here if something comes together. I don't know if I really need Vivid Crag here. Flamekin seems kind of decent. I do have some expensive cards. Guess I'm taking a Vivid Crag, though. That's fine. I think on-color Vivids are probably fine. I don't think I want this card at all. I guess it's a 4-mana 2/2 Menace. That doesn't seem that great. I'm going to take... What is this card called? Triclopian Sight? Is that like a Cyclops with 3 eyes? What? It's so bizarre. I think this is why people just love Lorwyn, though. If you talk to anybody who played around Lorwyn, they love it, as far as I know. As long as you control a fairy, it gets +1. No, we're not playing that. What is this Woodland Guidance? Return target creature from a graveyard to your hand. Clash if you win. Untap all fours. That's a lot of work. Let's take something that destroys a land for some reason. 5 mana to evoke it just to destroy a land, or it's a 7 mana 4/4 trample. That does not seem good. I will take this Oaken Brawler. Actually, doesn't seem terrible. 4 mana 2/4 is probably a good blocker, and then if it comes in and you get a counter, that seems decent. 4 mana 5/3 is pretty good. It's a Treefolk Warrior, though. Doesn't really fit the deck, but it's also not going to die to Thundercloud Shaman anyway. I don't know how heavily I'm relying on these cards to win us the game. Kulfner's Urn. Whenever a creature with toughness 4 or greater is put into a graveyard, you may exile it. At the beginning of the end step, if 3 or more cards have been exiled with it, return those cards to the battlefield. Seems like a lot of setup, but actually doesn't seem that bad. I have this in a commander deck. I don't know why I read it. Oh my god, Muldrifter's a common? How is Muldrifter a common? Doesn't even make sense. So I'm thinking of just taking Muldrifter because I have this Vivid. I know Muldrifter is just an insanely strong card. Creatures you control would get +1/+1 until end of turn. If you control a control card. I could take like just one of these little aggressive creatures here. Mudbutt and Torch Runner's fine too. But Muldrifter is very, very good. Elvish Harbinger. Summon of the School makes 2 blue Merfolk Wizards. You can tap 4 Merfolk to get it back. Oh, Avian Changeling's got to be good. It's a flying giant, right? Mud Button, Kite. I would probably play any combination of these 3 cards here. Ooh, Eye Bite's ending strong. It would take me a long time to memorize the cards in this. I mean, look at all these Treefolk. They look like the same card. I'm going to take Avian Changeling. I'm pretty sure that's the correct pick there. Not only is it a giant, but it's 3 mana 2/2 flyer, which is serviceable on its own. I guess I don't actually have a ton of payoffs for being giants. Like, I don't have a thing that gives my all of your giants get blah blah blah. I don't know if that card exists or not, but seems okay. Malicious Pride, 2 mana. Whenever a non-token creature you control attacks, you may pay white. If you do, create a 1/1 tapped and attacking. Sentry Oak Defender, if you win, gets +2/+0. Oh, at the beginning of combat. So it becomes a 5/5. There's that Stink Drinker Devil that we wanted. This card seems intriguing. I do want to be attacking a lot. I don't know how good it actually is, though. Non-token creature you control attacks. It seems pretty decent, actually. And I do want to be attacking. But I think I'm going to take this because it works with my deck pretty nicely. Wow, that's a so do nothing card. Another one of these prevent 3 damage things. What are you? All right, anyway, Merfolk Harbinger is nice. Rune Stalactite, Neck Snap. This is kill shot, but it costs 1 more mana. Probably good enough, right? Rune Stalactite, I am actually a little more interested in because I have like this Treefolk, this Goblin, so on and so forth. Seems fine. I'm gonna take Neck Snap though. Having more removal can't be bad, right? All right, so we got another one of these bonfires. Tribal Giant Sorcery. Deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker if you control a giant. Draw a card. Oh, it doesn't hit creatures, though. Oy. Another one of these 6 mana ones. Another Consuming Bonfire. And we're not taking Wonderwine Hub. Shimmering Grotto, I guess. Actually, I could take Wonderwine Hub. It's going to come in tapped, but it does help me cast Muldrifter. And I have a Vivid, so then I'm pretty good on the fixing for Muldrifter here, and I'm not hurting my own mana to do it. I might have a card come in tapped, but that seems fine. I'm going to actually take that. This might actually be worth a couple tickets too. It does get played in some modern Merfolk decks. Plover Knights, 5 mana, 3/3 first strike. Flying seems decent. We're going to take another Drinker of the Stink. I've probably been saying like all of these names super incorrectly, and I apologize, but look at these names: Stink Drinker Devil, Axe Grinder Giant, Hill Combr Giant, Lair Watch Giant. The typical trope of just having a a verb and a noun, or an adjective and a noun. Yeah, we're not taking that. Changeling seems fine. Seems fine. Battle Mastery. Give a creature double strike. I'm usually not into auras here. I don't know how likely I am to just get my creatures killed, but double strike does seem like the type of thing we want in an aggressive deck. And when I'm new to a format, I like to try some of the things out. Also, I like to look at rarity and see, why is this rare? Or I'm sorry, why is this uncommon? This card's usually not too great, especially when you already have big creatures, kind of win more. But I could see putting it on, like, I don't know, one of our aggressive creatures on the low end of the curve and just going to town. The removal in this set does seem decent, though. Red has pretty good removal, just based on what I've seen. Black has obviously very good removal. Forced Fruition. Another Neck Snap, a Rune Stalactite, or this thing that you can sacrifice to make your opponent shuffle for some reason. Not sure which is better. Neck Snap seems good, but I might actually take the Stalactite just to make it work with these other creatures. It is also slightly aggressive card. If you control a giant, like I could see putting it on Greatheart and then it fulfills its own condition, stuff like that. Then this becomes what, a 4/3 first striker with Rune Stalactite? Yeah, seems like it's going to be pretty decent. I'm going to have to make a couple cuts here. Also, we can turn our Mole Drifter into a giant. Just seems like the dream, right? I think with 2 Stink Drinker Daredevils, I'm going to try out this 8-drop. As far as cards I'm not super interested in, I don't really know off the top of my head. Like this Inner Flame Acolyte could just be whatever. The Oaken Brawler seems like it could get cut here. I like the removal spells. I could probably cut one of these high-end giants. Like, this does not seem like it attacks particularly well. Sure, it blocks well, but 5/3 for 6, that's just going to trade off with your opponent's, 3 power creature. Alright, well, the Urn must not be too great. Guess I'm going to take another Blind Spot Giant. I like Skirmisher. This card was in, what, M15? And Mud Button seems kind of annoying, but we'll just play infinite 3-drops here, I suppose. Blind Spot Giant does actually have a little bit of a downside to it. Sometimes we're not going to be able to attack or block with it. It seems fine. I think I'm going to cut this Oaken Brawler, and guess I'm taking a green card. Silver Gildazzer, exit the number. Oh wow, this seems super tedious to play against. Yeah, why don't we just take a foil, or I guess I could take a Harbinger. You can never have too many Harbingers for your collection, right? Nah, we're going to take a foil. You never know who needs them. Oh, another Hill Combr Giant seems fine. This does seem like the type of card we can cut and board in against red decks. It's also double white. So probably another reason to consider getting rid of this as a double red card. Target creature gets +2. Oh, I guess this can actually target itself, so it can come down as a like a Vyashno First Blade type creature. Comes down as a 4/2 with haste for a turn, and then sits there as a 2/2. Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about playing this as a way to target itself. Let's put this at 24 cards. Definitely going to be 17 lands. Tar Pitcher, sack a goblin, deals 2 to any target. Can sacrifice itself. Or the big Defender Merfolk that sometimes clashes. Or Eyes of the Wisent. I think I'll just take Tar Pitcher. I have a couple goblins, actually. Plus, I have Rune Stalactite, so I can move it around, start slinging some goblins or whatever. Seems pretty good in a dedicated goblin deck. They tend to make a lot of tokens, as far as I know. Battle Mastery does not seem necessary unless I know I'm against an opponent who's not playing a lot of removal. And then that puts me at 24 cards. Yeah, we're going to take another hurly-burly here. What is Elvish Eulogist? Sacrifice it, gain 1 life for each elf in your graveyard. Seems pretty bad. Let's take a Harbinger. I don't know. Why not? Is Treefolk actually a thing here? I didn't realize this was like a supported archetype, but it looks like it is. And it looks kind of annoying. Lots of high toughness creatures that get pumped and start bashing your opponent. Also, lots of defenders, too. How is a 6 mana 6/4 in this set? How is a 4 mana 6/4? That seems good, right? 6 mana 6/4? Who knows? Who really knows? Firebelly Changeling might not be that good. Goat Napper might not really be particularly good either. How many giants does this leave me with if I cut like Goat Napper, because I don't really know about it? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 giants and 4 cards that care about giants, plus Stalactite to turn things into giants. And I guess in a pinch, I could crib swap my own creature to make a giant. Not sure how often that comes up. And I guess, I don't know, a hill giant. That's funny. It's a hill giant, but it's a hill comber giant. But anyway, sure. I'm actually gonna just, until I know I'm playing against a deck where Tar Pitcher actually kills creatures, I'm gonna bring in one of these hill comber giants over the Tar Pitcher just to up the giant count, because my blind spot giants don't work if I don't have a giant, and Kithkin Greatheart is probably not that good if I don't have one either. I like this. I like the interaction between the tribes. Like, it seems like every tribe has at least one card that works with another tribe. Like, you've got these Kithkin and giant cards. You've got these, I don't know, goat and giant. Oh, this isn't even a giant. This is a goblin. I thought it was a giant, but it's not. All right, I'm less excited about that card now. And we'll keep an eye out for which of these cards seems decent out of the sideboard. We have a way to kill enchantments. We have a way to punish red decks. We have a way to sweep off 1 toughness creatures. Multiple ways. I guess we have a way to destroy lands if that's relevant, but it doesn't seem like it. Fault Grinder. Tar Pitcher's okay, I guess. And shouldn't be too hard to put the deck together. Very heavy red, clearly. Shaboom. Probably play a mono red deck if we really wanted to. This is a little on the sketch side, but I think it's going to be fine with a Vivid and a Hub. Because the Hub still taps for white, the Vivid still taps for red, and in a pinch, the Vivid can tap for white as well. So it actually adds another white source to the deck, which is pretty sweet. That's why Vivids are great. They just tap for anything you need them to. This is 23, and we're probably going to play... No, definitely less than that. I am not going to play an island. It's going to be like 6-9. Is that right? With the double white card? Probably go... Wait, why is it 9-8? There we go. That's what I was looking for. Probably don't need 8 white sources. But these aggressive creatures do want to come down early, so I'm still going to play them. That's actually not true. With these two, I don't actually need those. So let's go ahead and add a mountain here. What am I doing? 18 lands. All right. Hold on. Let me reconsider. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 white sources. We don't need that. So let's just cut a plains for a mountain. That puts us at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 red sources, and 2, 4, 6, 8 white sources. And 8 white sources seems like enough for what we've got going on here. Cards I'm a little skeptical about: this thing, since it cost $1 million, and basically the entire deck, because I don't know how this plays out. But I'm pretty sure I've got like Obama in common here. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just disappointed. My opponent plays a bunch of 4 toughness creatures, and I'm like, oh, well, these cards are not as good as I thought they were. But I assume they're going to be good. And anyway, thanks for joining me for a Lorwyn draft, and I hope this plays out well. You can catch me here, usually on Fridays, recording videos and posting a new video every Friday, sometimes additional videos throughout the week. But let's see how Giants does in Lorwyn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the matches. Hey everybody, Timothy here with match 1 of our Lorwyn draft. We have, I guess, a keepable hand. As a removal spell if something gets really out of hand here. And Neck Snap is a situational removal spell. The Blind Spot Giant not looking super great here, but I guess it'll be fine. Probably just play it next turn and then hopefully curve into another Giant. That'd be awesome. Flamekin Sprite. 4 mana, deals 1 damage to any target. Seems pretty decent. It is a 2 mana 1/1 for now though, but it's going to start picking off 1 toughness creatures, which I don't have a lot of. Against another red-white deck. I wonder if they're multicolor, if they're elementals, if they're just like red-white with... who knows? I think the second type matters too, like the shaman part. That might matter more for later creature types. Giants is my favorite archetype. Oh, that's nice. Mudbutt and Torch Runner. When it dies, it gets to throw a bolt around. So it would trade for my Blind Spot Giant at some point. We're probably just going to cast Neck Snap if nothing else changes on the following turn. Ooh, my opponent can shoot their Mudbutt and Torch Runner too. Isn't that kind of cool? And the downside of Blind Spot Giant already being very obvious here. This does look like the type of deck where whatchamacallit is going to be good, the Thundercloud Shaman. If they attack with this, I'm going to Neck Snap it, I think. Just so they don't have the option to kill their own Torch Runner, which they might do here, but that would use their entire turn. I'm not sure if I should be neck snapping a 1 toughness creature when I have multiple ways to get rid of it. Alright, they want to use their mana for something else. Hillcomber Giant. Alright, the main deck Hillcomber. Let's go and play a Vivid, and then we'll probably just crib swap this Hillcomber Giant. And then next turn I can play Axe Grinder and start attacking with Blind Spot Giant, I suppose. Just a vanilla 6/4. Shaboom, shaboom. Oh, is my opponent playing around another Neck Snap here? Alright, well they know something I don't then. I guess they could be playing around another Neck Snap. And I don't really know what to expect out of this opponent. Another Torch Runner? That's kind of obnoxious, right? Let's go ahead and crib swap the Hillcomber Giant right now. 3/3 unblockable against us seems pretty good. I'm not in love with giving them the little changeling because it could matter for their deck, but it's fine. These Torch Runners are going to get in there. This is the one that clashes. Alright, so let's see how Clash works. They reveal a 2-drop, I reveal a 2-drop. And what happens if the Clash is a tie? Nothing. So do I want this on top? No, I'm going to bottom that. Part of the Clash is you get to choose whether to keep the card on top or bottom. I'm not sure what my opponent did. My opponent kept their card on top. So they're going to draw that Kinsbale Skirmisher. I am going to draw this thing, which seems fine. And play a 6/4, which unfortunately trades for their 3-drop. I'm going to attack with my Blind Spot Giant. I assume it trades for the Torch Runner here, but it's going to do that regardless. Or if they have an answer to Axe Grinder Giant, they might not even do anything to this because then it's a dead card again. Worth noting, if I draw Thundercloud Shaman and it kills these two off, they can kill my Thundercloud Shaman. Moonglove Extract deals 2 damage to any target by sacrificing it. Okay. Tarfire this. Ooh. Alright, so thankfully my opponent's not dealing a billion damage to us, but they are in a pretty good spot here. And we are flooding out. I could attack them for 4, I suppose. Oh no, I don't have another giant. This gets pumped from this, but this does not count this. So that makes sense. This does have first strike, which means that they can send the mud buttons in there, but they can't really send the other 2 creatures. They have this skirmisher as well, which isn't going to be particularly good against a 3/2 first striker. So I imagine they just send the mud button torch runners in. And for now, I'll just say okay to that. I think I can afford to take 2. For sure bringing in the hurly-burlies against this opponent, which is a stupid thing to say out loud. Gonna bring in the hurly-burlies, the heebie-jeebies. Action, 1/3. 1/3 is not particularly terrible against them either. Not what I want to be drawing at this point in the game, though, considering I can already cast all of the spells in my deck. I can attack with Blind Spot. Oh no, I can't. I cannot attack with the Blind Spot Goblin. Or whatever it's called. Man, I'm just slurring all of these names together. Giant, Goblin, Devil, Drinker, Goblin thing. Alright. Incentivizing the block here, I suppose. Could just bite the bullet and trade off my 2 blocking things. I do think I want to block this turn. Or I guess this could just go here. I could take 1. Oh, they have a trick. Nice. Should have blocked with the other one. So this gets what? +1/+1 in Vigilance. So it's a 2/2 Vigilance. Ooh. Alright, so what happens here? I get to kill this, this, and this. Equal to the number of giants I control. Oh, I get to clear their board. Oh my god. Which means I probably want to attack with the Great Heart first. Do they trade here? They are going to be able to kill either both of these or this because of these torch runners, but I do get to clear their board. I'm just debating whether I want to attack first or not. I think I do. I'm probably likely to lose this. They would have to put both triggers on the shaman to kill the shaman off. Alright, here it comes. Let's see if you justify how good you are. I have 2 giants, so this should deal 2 damage to all creatures that aren't giants. This will just die anyway. They could shoot this and also shoot me, or they could put 2 triggers. Oh, right, shapeshifter. Oh, you funny looking guy. This is a giant, so it does not take damage. Oh, they're going to put 2 triggers on the Thundercloud. Alright. That seems acceptable. So now we're kind of at parity. They have a little bit of a clock on us. We can't really attack with a giant, but if I draw any giant, I can start getting in there. Excuse me. What was that? Oh, and they control a giant. See, I just gave that to them. So I'm on a 4-turn clock. Nope. And I can't attack or block. I've got to hope to draw a little bit better than what I'm drawing now. I've drawn 9 lands, and I feel like I'm fine, but we'll see. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Blind Spot Goblin really letting me down here. Might cut him, actually, because I am going to want to be blocking against this opponent. That and they died to the Torch Runners. Alright, my opponent just had another Deal 4 in their hand, or Tarfire. Alright, well that was unfortunate. We flooded super hard there. Do want the Hurly-Burlies. Probably want the Tar Pitcher too. Don't want these things. I want this. Could see bringing in just big toughness creatures here. Next 1 damage that would be dealt this turn. Battle Mastery seems bad. Alright, let's cut the Blind Spot Giants because we do want to make sure we're blocking some amount of the time. Harbinger seems okay. The 6 mana 6/4 seems very bad against the whatchamacallits. And I guess if I'm cutting one of the top end giants, I can cut one of these Stink Drinker Devils. So this seems fine. Just up the toughness and the sideboard options against the opponent. The Hurly Burly seem like they're going to be pretty good against them. The Thundercloud Giant was great, but then we just drew a bunch of lands, so we didn't have anything to really set it up. Opponent's got a lot of direct direct damage too. I could see this Kithkin Healer being okay. Too late for that. I will play first. And I guess if I draw a third land, I'm fine, but this is not a particularly exciting hand. Opponent's going down to 6. I'd very much like this hand on the draw. And they scry to the bottom. So we're just fingers crossed for a third land in the next 2 turns. That's the goal. I guess if I'm going to not draw lands, drawing things that I can cast are pretty good. See if it gets killed by a Tarfire here. It does. It does. Look, I know the opponent doesn't always have to have it, right? They seem like they do, but... Alright, well, we'll just sit here and not cast spells then, unfortunately. Again, a third line land, and I think I'm okay. Cool. Let's go Stink Drinker. Yeah, doesn't make sense to cast anything else there. Now if they kill this, I'm in trouble again. Although any land lets me cast Hillcomber. Would you like to attack? Oh, I need another red to actually cast the Thundercloud Shamans. Alright, Hillcomber is pretty good. Alright, so we can't actually cast Thundercloud, which is fine. We can Hillcomber Giant here. Get our own little clock on board. And then if we really need to, we can crib swap this thing at some point. Interesting choice whether or not I want to block the Torch Runner here. And let them trade that off for the Hillcomber Giant. They're doing something pre-combat though. Or maybe they're not. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let this happen. I do want to get rid of their creatures. I need to draw another mountain anyway to be able to cast these, so this doesn't really do anything at this point. Torch Runner's gonna go and kill Hillcomber. Gonna take 3, and my opponent's gonna cast something else. Ooh. Alright. They do have a giant. So deal 4 to me, draw a card. Seems kind of gross. After getting rid of the Stink Drinker, of course. Alright, well the plan is to crib swap this thing and just get in my 1 damage while I can, I suppose. I'll wait till combat. Maybe they'll use a Kinsbale Skirmisher or something like that. Target. Alright, we'll go and crib swap in response. And I guess we're just passing. I don't see any reason to play the Acolyte if it's not going to stick on board. Alright, we need something to happen here. That's something. So Thundercloud Shaman doesn't do too much here, but it does block, right? Could play the Acolyte, but it's going to die to the Moonglove Extract. I think I'm just going to get this down. Doesn't kill anything here, but it does block. Oh, and I forgot I did not have to use all of my mana for that, because I still have this out. And next turn, hopefully they just load up the board with a bunch of 2 toughness creatures. Then I can play the second Thundercloud Shaman. If I draw a land, then I can play this thing. Alright, so kill Instinct Drinker, that's fine. We just need them to not have a removal spell for this boy. Oh, they're just immediately casting a spell, though. Oblivion Ring. Man, my opponent's deck seems like it's very good. O-Ring's an uncommon, or a common in this set. It's pretty busto. Going down to 9. Dying the slow death. Cool. At least I get to sweep that up. And opponents on 1 card. Hopefully they don't have infinite answers to our big creatures here. Mold Drifter. Not the top deck we wanted, right? Yeah, my hand is looking pretty embarrassing here. My opponent has another of those Giant's Ires. Jeez. Alright. I can't really afford to attack. They just have too much direct damage. Oh man, they have a Tarfire too? Opponent's deck seems sick. Well, I'm going to offer that trade. Yep. Well, it is a 2-for-1 on the opponent there. Firebelly Changeling. Seems pretty mediocre here. Guess I'd rather trade that off than the Acolyte, so we'll play it. I guess, no, I can't play the Acolyte too. Alright, we'll pass. I think I'm going to lose this game. I have 2 cards in my hand that don't do anything. Alright, do you attack with the Changeling? That is the question. Because I will trade my Firebelly Changeling for it. Go to blocks. Yes, and I would like to activate. I do need my opponent to brick a little bit here. And I really needed that to be like a blue source or something. Alright. We need to... Most of our draws are decent. Lands get us closer to this, which stabilizes pretty hard. Alright. Alright. We're stable. Alright, 1 more land gets us to this. Of course, it's going to be a tap land, right? I guess that gets us to Mold Drifter. Again, I need my opponent to brick a little bit here. And I need to draw well. Good. Alright, that's not terrible. Said it, as long as I can cast my spells, that's fine. I think I should have just attacked for 2 now. I haven't drawn any of my removal spells either. The Lash Outs and the, what is it called? The Tarfire. Just looking to get in little points of damage while I can. Trade off this Kithkin if I can. And looking to draw a land. I feel like this stabilizes us pretty hard. Again, our opponent has a lot of direct damage in their deck. Well, I'm blocking. I don't think I should go down to 3 or less if I can avoid it. Oh, okay, well, the clash here is nice. I revealed a mountain. My opponent revealed another Kinblade Skirmisher. I'm going to keep the mountain on top. That lets me tap out and cast this big old thing. Which my opponent... Let's see if they kept on top. They did. So they're going to draw Homeboy here. Plus they have 1 card in hand. I think that means I can afford to attack and just play this. Do they have haste? Maybe I should have read that, because I'd probably attack with them. No, they don't. Alright. Get in there, Inner Flame Acolyte. Good. Alright, so feeling a little bit better about this game now. Sacrifice an elemental, target giant gets +3/+1 till end of turn. Okay. So here comes Skirmisher. Yep. No attack. Ooh, Hurly Burly looking not great here. I guess I could send in the elementals. I could just send this in and force a double block of some sort. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's not quite lethal, but I could do something like boom, boom, and just keep the 5/5 back. They could just take this, and then if they have a way to kill this thing, I'm dead. So maybe I should have kept one more blocker back. Yeah, that was probably bad. I probably should have only attacked with 2 creatures, and oh man, if they win the clash, we both revealed mountains. All right, so if they had won the clash there, I would have died. Assuming their last card isn't something that just kills this. Make sure I'm not auto-yielded. Yeah, if the converted mana costs of the 2 cards in the clash are the same, then it looks like nothing happens. Alright, cool. So my opponent basically just wasted a lash out there. Now I think I can make a lethal attack. If I attack with everything, they have to block here. They have to block here. And I have next snap to back things up. And they have to chump this. Plus they go down to 2 here. Alright, we managed to turn this one around. Barring a 5 damage to the face, I have a next snap to take care of a hasty creature. Cool, we could keep playing. And they have an Oblivion Ring, so I do kind of want my, what is it called, Wispmare here. Maybe too many sideboard cards for this matchup, but I think it's fine. I probably don't want this, to be honest. It just doesn't seem like an 8-mana spell is what I want in this sort of matchup. Especially when my opponent just has, like, ways to get rid of it. And with that being said, maybe I don't want the Stink Drinker Devil on account of my opponent just cutting most of my high-end giants means I probably want that a little bit less. It's not a giant itself either, so it's not like I'm gaining much by having that in my deck. Tar Pitcher seems like it could be okay. Goat Napper. Tar Pitcher is 4 mana, though. The Healer seems fine, too. Triclopian Sight. Yeah, let's just make that cut. So lower the curve significantly. Hopefully draw removal for my opponent's early game. This seems okay. We're on the draw. Opponent's mulling down to 5 or down to 6 and scrying. Opponent's name is Cool Magics. They kept on top. Alright, so we need to draw some non-lands. Ooh, Lash Out's a good one. I did lower the curve of my deck pretty significantly, so Lash Out gets a little bit worse, but you don't need to win the clash for that card to be good. Probably just going to play Lash Out, just stop early game damage. Oh, and I revealed a Lash Out? Yeah, so we can definitely afford to throw a Lash Out there. Opponent revealed a Mountain. For sure keep ours on top. And opponent put theirs on the bottom. Sorry, a lot of things to keep track of here. Alright, so don't really need to lash this out right away. I would like to get a body on board and then start using my removal spells to take these early game creatures out. Alright, do I block? I think I'm going to block. I might as well. Just stave off the early damage. My late game's decent. Although, given this first strike's pretty strong, but I don't want to take too much damage against an opponent who has tons of removal spells and direct damage. Like, those Giants' Ires get a lot worse if A, they don't have Giants, and B, I'm at a high life total. Well, Mold Drifter is something to work towards, right? At least Lash Out gives us a semi-scry. It gives the opponent a scry too, essentially, but... Or a scry also, I should say. Alright, so I'm going to Lash Out this first one. Hopefully just hit a blue source. Tar Fire to my Mountain. My Mountain can go on the bottom. So value for me and the opponent. The opponent bottomed the Tar Fire. Kinsbale Balloonist. 4 mana 2/2. Whenever it attacks, you may have target creature gain flying. Oh, it's Pegasus. Pegasus Corsair. Early Burly seems like it'd be okay at some point this game. Probably going to next snap the Kinsbale. I haven't seen anything in my opponent's deck that doesn't die to Lash Out, and I'd rather use my mana up now. Although the Lash Out does get me that Scry as well. Our opponent down to 2 cards. Kinsbale Skirmisher. Holding them off quite a bit. The Hurly Burly's not looking amazing here. But if they play like a Mud Button Torch Runner or something, it could be fine. This card seems fine. Let's go and snap their neck. It's a little violent. Oh, we can give it Self-Flying. I see. Alright, the all-removal hand seems pretty good here. Wispmare. Don't think I want to play that yet. I think I'm just going to Lash Out and look to find the island or some sort of action. Any of our 4 or 5 mana spells are pretty good here. Opponent's down to 2 cards. If I need to, I can play this as a blocker. Opponent revealed Mountain, I revealed Plains to the bottom. So that's the second land I've put to the bottom here. I've got to imagine my opponent bottomed as well. Ooh, Tar Pitcher seems fine. At the very least, it might just eat up a removal spell. Or trade off for another 2 toughness creature. Or attack for 2. Yep, this is a goblin too. I can pitch it with Tar Pitcher. I'm going to attack into whatever nonsense my opponent might have here. All right. So we're looking fine. We do need a little bit more action. All right, here comes that Acolyte. If they attack, I'm trading Fire Belly Changeling for it, no doubt. Yep. Actually, I can deal 5 back to him and take 4 this turn. $13 to $16. Now I'm just going to trade this off. Yeah, let's just pump it again for the heck of it. I'm going to play my lands because of this Mold Drifter. We have used most of the removal in our deck. That's worth noting here. All right. Still not much going on this game. Probably right to just play this Wispmare. And just get the 1 extra point in, up the clock a little bit. There's not a lot happening in this game. There we go. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Probably, I was going to say, it's possible I wanted to go get Hillcomer Giant instead of Thundercloud because Thundercloud is going to kill Tar Pitcher, but this can actually sacrifice itself to deal 2 before that happens. So yeah, I'm just going to get Thundercloud. It's a beater here. It does the job. Plus, this is a 3/4. That's not embarrassing. Oh, perfect. So next turn I get to, do I have enough to do both? I don't really want to evoke this if I don't have to. And now I can actually just play Thundercloud Shaman without losing my Tar Pitcher. Alright, well, this seems pretty good because Wismare is going to kill that Oblivion Ring, and then the Harbinger just... In fact, you know what? I'm just going to do this now. Because the Harbinger is going to let me go fetch up another Thundercloud Shaman. So let's put... Yeah, we're just going to put another one on top. And opponent said GG. Nice. So I did not think we were winning that second game, but it worked out. Mole Drifter not really suiting itself here, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Sweet. That was nice. Let's try it again in match 2. Hey everybody, Timothy here. We've actually got an interesting hand because we are on the draw here, and we have a Tarfire, plus if we draw another lane, we have a Lash Out. Still think it's probably right to mulligan this hand, although it curves out very nicely if we draw lands, but double red and double white is also a little bit of a problem here, so I'm just going to mull. And this looks okay. This 8-drop does not look great overall. I'm a little not happy with that card so far. At least we get to play the Boggart here. Against a blue deck, huh? Wonder what that means. Fairies? Merfolk? Fairy folk? Merman? Kithfolk? Alright, I'm done. This is a cool island. Alright, Stony Brook Angler. You may tap or untap target creature. Seems pretty decent. Actually, this seems really good for a common. So, it's going to be a little tedious for a while. Fine. Still going to play my Boggart. Right now, I just want to draw mountains. Ugh, not that. Not that at all. I feel like Thundercloud Shaman should be pretty decent against Merfolk. Stink Drinker. I can cast that, but then I can't cast anything after it because I need mountains. So I think I'm actually going to bottom this and just look to hit actual mountains. Opponent revealed an island, which I assume went to the bottom. No, they actually kept their island on top. So I did get a 3-2 out of the deal. Architect's Will puts a flood counter on it. If you control a Merfolk, draw a card. So just cycling that. They not actually keeping me off the color here, which is fine. Do have a lot of red going on though. I'm gonna equip and oh, it's in addition to its other types. Oh, I guess that makes things with Island Walk tick, so not really a problem. Little do they know I have a Mole Drifter in my deck. Haha. Oh, this costs 2 to equip. I assume I'm just getting tapped down here, but I'm still gonna play it. And I'll pass. Now our hand's looking kind of ugh. If I draw a Mole Drifter, I'm just going to evoke it. Alright, Deep Tread Marrow. 2 mana, 2/1, gains Island Walk till end of turn. Okay, that's respectable. We have a game plan here, though. We have a game plan. Alright, that's a good start. I'm going to go ahead and cast this. Probably going to get tapped down. Actually, it probably won't, but it's going to give itself +2/+0. So if it does get tapped down, I'm at least swinging for 4 regardless of what gets in there. And Thundercloud Shaman looking pretty good against my opponent here. If I can draw another land. I say that because I already have a giant on board with my Rune Stalactite. Alright, this is fine. Oh, they did that main phase, so do I get priority again? I do. Why did my opponent do that on main phase? Oh, never mind. That costs 2 to equip. I keep forgetting that. It's 1 to cast, 2 to equip. It's so hard. I play with some people who have Merfolk decks for Commander, and it's so hard to keep all these Merfolk, like, keep track of which one's which. My opponent opted to block there, so they're looking to play the control game for a while. That's respectable. I'd probably do the same there instead of taking 4. Alright, and not adding to the board at all. So here, I'm actually not going to play Thundercloud Shaman, I don't think. I would like for them to at least tap out and maybe get an extra creature out of the deal. That could be wrong. Like, just playing Thundercloud Shaman does kill this tapper, so maybe, yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to play it. I guess if they have, like, maybe a bounce spell or a way to kill this thing or do something in response, then they don't lose their creature. It would only take 1. I don't know what kind of bounce spells are in this format, though. But, I mean, that seems good. We just Flame Tongue Kavu'd their creature, and now they can't tap our things. They're missing land drops. We can start curving into these big things if all we do is draw lands. Whirlpool Whelm. Clash with an opponent, then return target creature to its owner's hand. Oh, my opponent could have done that in response, but did not. If you win, you may put that creature on top instead. They revealed Island. I revealed Hillcomber Giant. So they're going to bounce Thunderclaw Shaman back to my hand. I'm just going to leave this on top. More threats does not seem bad here. Yeah, my opponent could have bounced Thundercloud Shaman in response, and then it would have only dealt 1 damage. They would still have their tapper. Maybe they either missed the timing or they forgot that this was a giant in addition to its other types from the stalactite, so they probably thought this was only going to deal 1 damage. Instead it dealt 2. Ink Fathom Divers. Island Walk. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 of your library. Put them back in any order. Alright. Ink Fathom Divers. God, so many cards I've just never seen before. Lorwyn's also one of those sets, like the block overall, it has 4 sets in the block. I think it's the only set that has 4 sets in the entire block. There's Lorwyn, Eventide, what else is it? Lorwyn, Eventide, Shadowmoor, and I'm missing one. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think they get to bottom any of the cards, so they know what they're going to draw for the next 4 turns. Could offer them the trade here, too. Just going to play Hillcomber Giant, power up my Thundercloud Shaman. See if they want to make this trade. They do not. God, I really want to draw Mold Drifter and just punish them for making my land an island. I mean, I'm not really considering doing this, but it might be worth bringing in that Evoke creature that destroys a land to pop my own island, but that seems not like a thing. Alright, so Cyclone not Architect's Will, Aquatech's Will. And are we getting in there? We are getting in there, wow. So either that means they know Thundercloud Shaman's going to kill their creature, or they're... I don't really know what that means. They took it back, though, so... I guess I could just cast Lash Out and see what happens there. Because I suspect they want me to cast Thundercloud Shaman. I actually don't even mind just attacking with my 2 creatures here. And then playing Lash Out if something goes poorly. I'll trade either one for this Ink Fathom whatever. Divers. Having Lash out here as a backup's pretty nice. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. See if they have a response for this thing. Wings of Velis Vel. 2 mana. Till end of turn, target creature has base power and toughness 4/4, gains all creature types, and gains flying. Well, let's try to Lash it out in response. This was in Modern Masters 2, where it was basically unplayable. Alright, so they revealed Marrow Regery, Merfolk Lord. Whenever you cast a Merfolk, you say tap or untap a permanent. That's very strong. I revealed Blind Spot Giant, which is probably decent too, even though I don't mind just hitting more lands here. Another 4/3 attacking seems fine. I'm gonna bottom this one. It's either I'm gonna be able to cast my spells or I'm gonna draw lands and be able to cast the bigger spells. So let's see what the opponent does with theirs. They put their card on top, so they want Marrow Regery. Worth noting, worth knowing about. I guess there's a whole cycle of this. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, the red one is the +2/+0. The white one is the damage prevention thing. The black one is, I think, is Nameless Inversion, which is insane. The green one, I don't actually know off the top of my head. The black one's very, very good. It gives +3/-3 for 1 in a black. It was in Modern Masters 2 as well. A lot of cards from Lorwyn were in that set. They had an elemental theme and a spirit theme. The spirit theme mostly was from Kamigawa, but... Alright, so what happens if they just straight up don't play anything here? We know they have Marrow Regery in their hand. Just going to attack with both and then play 6/4. This might be like a neck snap or something else I don't know about. Because they chose not to play a creature. I guess playing Marrow Regery doesn't do anything because Thundercloud Shaman kills it. This is fine. So opponent going down to 9 here. I'm going to play a 6/4. And pass it back. Alright, what you got, opponent? There's Marrow Regery. 2 cards in hand that we know about. And my opponent's aware of Thundercloud Shaman. Glimmer Dust Nap. 3 mana. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its control's untap set, but it doesn't actually tap it down, so they have to put this on the Hillcomber. So now we're going to Thundercloud Shaman, get rid of Regery. Attack for 7. Seems busted. I haven't seen enough 1 toughness creatures to want Hurly Burly. Alright. Oh, I guess I can't equip the thing, so we are not dealing 7, we're only going to deal 6. And opponent's got to do something next turn. They have 1 card in hand. Is this enough to bring in the evoke creature against? Oh, Cloud Gut Ranger. That's a very good one. Cloud Gut Ranger is an insane card. They're on chump duty, though. So, probably just go block, I assume. I would actually rather keep the 6/4 at this point, so let's make this more threatening. Attack with both. They can kill one of them with Cloud Goat Ranger plus another block, but then the other one has to be chumped. Or they could just go chump on with the Kithkin soldiers. This is probably enough to bring in Hurly-Burly against that, plus the other one toughness thing. I forgot all about Cloud Goat Ranger. This was in Modern Masters 1 as well. Just these two were the linchpin of the giant decks. Alright, so they are gonna... Oh, they're gonna... Why would you chump with Cloud Goat Ranger? Oh, right. I forgot it could do that. That's fine. That's fine. So we're going to play Firebelly Changeling and equip it up. Gives me another lethal attacker next turn. Opponent is empty-handed now. And they get to buy at least one more turn here. Hopefully it's not another Cloud Goat Ranger. Well, they had another turn, but they chose to not do that. Hurly-Burly, I might not need with double Thundercloud Shaman, actually. I'm going to cut this 8-drop. Just doesn't look too good. Drifter actually looks a lot better now. Hillcomber Giant seems unnecessary. This actually probably just seems better than Hillcomber. Although Hillcomber is a giant, so we don't want to cut all the giants from our deck, right? Battle Mastery seems not great against this opponent. This seems decent. It does counteract that little enchantment thing and Wispmare as well. So these are things that I'm looking at potentially having here. Yeah, let's actually not bring in Hurly-Burly because we do have double Thundercloud Shaman. And I can cut one Stink Drinker Devil. And we'll go ahead and run it like this. Tar Pitcher also seems like it could be okay here. Again, I want to punish my opponent's Aquatex Wills by just casting Muldrifter one time off of their blue source. That would be amazing. And it's going to look like I sideboarded it in. I'm just going to look like a genius. This hand seems good. A little... I mean, it doesn't have removal, but it's a good hand, right? Opponent's going down to 6. And scrying Bossuna to the bottom. Alright, I like the scry to the bottom. With the Ponder, huh? This isn't Legacy. Ponder's great. I forgot that was in the set. I did see one in the pack, actually, though, so I guess I didn't really forget it was in the set. And they shuffled, so they did not like the 3 cards that were on top. Alright. Well, I don't mind drawing a 1-drop there. Stalactite was actually pretty key last game in making one of my other creatures a giant. Let me clear off all my opponent's 2 toughness creatures. Malicious Pride. So this is the one that when a non-token attacks, you can make a 1/1. I do have Wispmare, so that's kind of a dead card. My opponent doesn't know that because Wispmare is going to take care of it. As much as I'd actually like to keep Wispmare against the other enchantments. Ooh, that was a good draw too. My draws have been pretty great. And let's clash. I revealed Crib Swap. My opponent revealed Deep Tread Marrow. This is the one that gains Island Walk. Do I want Crib Swap? Guess I can't go bad with it. I'll just keep it on top. Giving my opponent another Merfolk doesn't seem like a thing I really want to do, but I did win that clash, so I have a 3-2. So I think what I'm going to do next turn, let's assume they just play this thing. I'm going to actually play Kithkin Greatheart. No, I'll just play Wispmare and get rid of the enchantment. All of my plays revolve around me thinking that Rune Stalactite is only 1 to equip. But it's not. Actually, I should even check to see if my opponent put that on the top or the bottom. They did keep on top. Steam Bed Aquatex. 3 mana, 2/3. Gives a creature +1/+1 in Island Walk, and target land becomes an island. This seems pretty strong. Pretty good. I'm going Wispmare now. My opponent knows about the Crib Swap as well. So I'm going to offer this trade. I don't think my opponent's going to take it. And then I'm going to Wismare and get rid of this Malicious Pride before my opponent has a chance to start making 1/1s off of it. I didn't equip either, so it's going to look a little suspicious, but yeah, my opponent just takes it here. Next turn I can go Great Heart plus equip or something along those lines. Get this Wismare in there. Turn it into a giant elemental goblin. Alright. Nice little 2-for-1 there. Convenient that my opponent had another target for this outside of the one that I already seen. Alright, so the Island Walker. Alright. We're going to go equip here. Guess I could equip here and just force as a double block if nothing else. I'm just going to equip to Wismare and attack with both. Then play Kithkin Greatheart. Because my opponent's already going to block this. The only difference is if I equip here, they have to double block, but then they probably just take 5. This card reminds me of Merfolk Branchwalker, except it gives your opponent a scry too. Ooh, I like that. Oh, right, you can do that, can't you? Alright, well, I ran into that trick. I imagine that's one of those things that just happens when you don't know the format. But that's my fault. I just threw away a creature there. Guess I could have also been running into the, what is it? The, 2 mana, give a creature, or make a creature a 4/4. Ooh, Marrow Reejery. That's a good card. Probably just Crypt swap it. I've got a decent clock on my opponent here. Can't really attack with this unless I equip it. I could just play Harbinger next turn. Yeah, the Harbinger actually seems fine. Let's get Wismare in there. Can't really attack with this thing. If my opponent doesn't have an answer to me going Harbinger, Thundercloud, Shaman, then they're going to lose their board. I guess they could keep this. Marrow Reejery will die. Let's go and get Thundercloud Shaman. Yeah, that just seems like the best thing here. What's this here? Are they casting another Marrow Reejery? Oh no, they're casting another Stream Bed Architects or Aquitects. They get to tap or untap a creature. Solid, solid. We are not blocking that. We fell for the trick once with the pump. We're not going to fall for it again. All right, so they should be able to keep this alive. They should be able to keep one of these alive and lose their other 3 creatures. Because even if they don't die from the initial ping, once Marrow Reejery dies, if they lose the +1/+1 bonus, those things will be dead. I have 3 on board. I'm going to lose my Kithkin Greatheart. This is assuming their 1 card in hand isn't some white spell that does something significant here. So they are going to make that pump itself. That makes sense. And then lose the other 3 creatures. Shaboom. Also take 5. And I have a crib swap. Well, this game feels about over with them only having one card in hand, but we don't know the cards in the set, so I don't want to get cocky here. Just saying, it looks pretty decent. Yeah, one in hand still. Can be a Cloud Goat Ranger. Just crib swap it. This isn't going to cut it on its own. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and just attack with everything, hold up crib swap. They can keep this alive by blocking the Harbinger and take 6. Could get neck snapped here, too. And now every single one of my creatures is lethal. Sideboard cards coming in clutch this game. I'm not sure if that would have mattered or not. Them making the 1/1s. Those 1/1s would have died to Thundercloud Shaman. But hey, look, our first Lorwyn draft. We're in the finals. Let's do it. I'll see you there. Hey everybody, we're back for the finals. We have what looks like a pretty decent hand with a Mole Drifter floating around in it. Looks like I might have accidentally added that into my deck, but that was intentional. Avian Changeling into Giant seems like it could be pretty good if we curve out. We're on the play too. Opponent's mulligan behind the masks puts their card on the bottom. So let's go ahead and lead off. I assume maybe you're supposed to lead off with the mountain because of Tarfire, but it's not going to really change the way my opponent plays. We've got another blue deck, another Merfolk deck. Tide Shaper Mystic, 1/1. Target land becomes basic land type of your choice. Target land? That can target my lands? That's super annoying. So my opponent could do that to like keep me off a color here. If I draw another plains, that won't matter, but ooh, drawing this on turn 2 most games is nice. We do need to win the clash for this to be better than their Tide Shaper here. Plains on top, opponent revealed an Oblivion Ring. Oh, I think I'm supposed to keep mine on top. I'm assuming my opponent's going to keep theirs on top. And we did not win that clash, so I just have a lonely 2/1 here. They put it on the bottom? Why'd they put Oblivion Ring on the bottom? Is their hand just insane? Oh, really? So my opponent's going to try to keep me off all my colors? Is that the goal here? Well, if this is going to trade for one of these anyway, I might as well just get it off the board. If I attack and they block, that just means I took an extra point of damage for no reason, essentially. Alright, come on, Avian Changeling, let's do it. 2 of these seems egregious. It is very annoying. You can do this on your upkeep, or on your opponent's upkeep, and just keep them off of their spells. Target land becomes an island. Maybe that's my opponent's deck, is they're just trying to keep me off of being able to cast my spells. Which might just work here. At least I get to put some pressure on board. Oh, and if they turn something into an island, I get to cast Mole Drifter? That seems incredible. Fallow Sage. 4 mana 2/2. Whenever it becomes tapped, you may draw a card. Oh, please let me hit the land off the top here. Although they're probably going to activate these abilities on my mountains. Yeah, see, we're stopped. Oh, we're not stopped on upkeep. Well, I am going to just kill Fallow Sage now. They can pump it up to a 3/3, but that seems like a thing we don't want to happen. And then I can't attack with Hillcomber Giant because they can do that trick we ran into last time. Keep the mountain on top. Opponent revealed an island. So we didn't win the clash. So the cool thing here is either I draw a mountain and I get to cast Thundercloud Shaman. Oh, I didn't. What? I didn't even realize I had 2 Thundercloud Shamans in my hand. Alright, maybe my deck's just busted. Or if they make my lands an island for the turn, I can cast Mole Drifter. Oh, they're just going to let me do whatever. So, Thundercloud Shaman it is. Dealing 3 to each creature. They're going to have to tap this to keep it alive, which means I get to attack with everything, and none of my creatures take damage. Plus, next turn I get to play another Thundercloud Shaman. Oh my god. Well, I'm glad I saw this in Modern Masters, otherwise I would not have probably considered how strong it is. Card is doing ridiculous amounts of work here. Very surprised they put Oblivion Stone on the, Oblivion Stone on the bottom, or I'm sorry, Oblivion Ring. Especially when they could have fixed their mana with this. That was a quick one. Probably don't want the Hillcomber Giants again over just a potentially better creature. Wisp is probably going to be good here, but we don't know that for sure yet. And I like Hurly Burly against the two X1s. Is it enough better than any of these other cards here? Yeah, the Stink Drinker. The 8-drop I'm just super not into. And I'll bring in a Tar Pitcher over a Stink Drinker. The 6/4 also doesn't seem too great. It seemed like my opponent's plan there with the cards they played was to turn all my lands into like islands on my upkeep so that I couldn't use a certain color mana for the turn, but then they didn't do that. Alright, on the draw this time. This hand seems good. This hand actually seems really good. Opponent's going down to 6 again. They're on the play this time. I think all 3 of my opponents have mulliganed at some point or another. And I mulliganed once. The one-lander. That Fallow Sage card seems strong. Tap it down, draw a card. It's pretty ridiculous. Alright, let's do it. Play something that dies to lash out so I can curve out. If not, I'll just play Firebelly Changeling. Sig. Oh, we're going to kill that for sure. Sig is very strong. Sig, 1 in a white, target Merfolk gains protection from the color of your choice and it has Island Walk. Let's just get Sig out of here right now. And we get to put that on the bottom. I don't think I've won a clash with Lash Out yet. I haven't really paid attention. But we are going to get rid of the River Guide right away. I probably would wait until I had 4 mana before I even cast this. Alright, so we got the Tapper coming down. Well, we could kill it right now. I could go Firebelly Changeling plus Tarfire this thing. Or I could just play Avian Changeling. I think I'm going to just kill it off. And play the Firebelly guy. Oh, opponent responding? No. Just keep my opponent off their Merfolk. I think Merfolk wants to go wide too, so the more of these I get off the board, the less likely it is my opponent's going to be able to start comboing off with their tappy Merfolk. And they just didn't do anything for the turn. So I am going to attack for 2 and play an Avian Changeling. That's the plan, and I'm sticking to it. This looks like a super aggro start from us. 2 really cheap removal spells plus 2 changelings. These changelings seem fantastic in this format. Both, I mean, like, a changeling is good for me and also good against me. Ooh, Captivating Glance. So this is the one where on end step, my opponent clashes. If they win the clash, I have the creature, and if I win the clash, I have, or if they win the clash, they gain control of the creature, but then it keeps triggering each end step. So let's see who wins the clash. That's the real question here. The thing is, if they don't win the clash, it doesn't do anything. And there are turns where I'm going to have it. Although I guess if you win the clash... Oh, I guess if I don't gain control of it, or if, I don't know. There are times this isn't going to be able to attack, I suppose. Alright, so let's do that. Opponent revealed a 4-drop. I revealed a 3-drop. So they gain control of my thing. And they get their Harbinger. I'm going to put my guy on the bottom. I don't really want to draw that. They put theirs on top. Oh, and this is a Merfolk. Do I want to lash out my own creature? Probably not. I think I'm going to play Bogart and just pass here. And wait until a turn when I get my Avian Changeling back. Also, they don't get a lot of value out of this clash because they're going to keep the same card on top. I do get to put 2 lands on the bottom, which is nice. Yeah, I'm not into the idea of trading my Changeling for theirs when at some point this game I'm probably just going to get my Changeling back. Like here, they're probably playing this Harbinger. It lets them go put a Merfolk on top of their deck, which actually does mean they're very likely to win whatever clash we have here. Let's see what they put on top first. I imagine I'm getting attacked by my Changeling this turn. Might as well. There's a good chance they might not have it. Although they put a high enough CMC Merfolk on top of their library, and they're probably going to win the clash. I have a couple 5-drops in my deck, so I could see it. What I'm actually going to do here is probably second main their, if I can click it. Oh, God, I hate this little lock button. There. I'm going to second main Lash Out just to see what I have on top of my library first. Ooh, Summon the School is good. Because I'm gonna Lash Out their Marrow Harbinger, and then if I have something that can beat the Clash on Summon the School, would be pretty good. So let's do this now before. I guess I could do it in response. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be on their main phase. I revealed a 2-drop. So I'm going to actually bottom that because it's not super impactful here, and I would like another chance at potentially taking my creature. I revealed a Mountain. Putting all these lands on the bottom is good for me. Summon the School is not. Although I guess I have Hurly Burly. Could offer my opponent the trade here. I'm still not going to do that. I guess these are both going to die to Hurly Burly at some point. To each creature with flying. Alright, let's go ahead and just make the trade now, I suppose. Well, that's a weird one to trade for. I guess this one does tax my mana more. Alright, get in 3. We have an answer to Summon the School. Alright, we'll just play that and pass. Thundercloud Shaman would be a great draw here. So what I'm hoping my opponent does is just play a bunch more Merfolk out and start using Summon the School again. They can tap 4 Merfolk to return it to their hand, and Hurly Burly's just going to get them. But at the same time, I could just draw a Thundercloud Shaman, and then I don't have to use the Hurly Burly. I'll play the Vivid. Not much going on this game. It is worth noting I've put a ton of lands on the bottom with 2 lands, I guess. I put a lot of very unimpactful cards on the bottom of my library. My opponent's not playing lands, so I assume they're on just all action here. Jeez, come on. That's 6, 7, 8, plus we put 2 on the bottom. So 10 lands out of our deck. Just going to keep that one in our hand. I don't know that I'm running into discard anytime soon, but maybe my opponent's sitting behind counter magic here. Yeah, let's try to cast this. If the spell is countered, exiled instead. Alright, so opponent, yep, just sitting behind a counter spell, possibly more. I'd rather them counter that than something super impactful, though. Although they're sitting behind the counter spells, they should. I guess they could attack with at least one Merfolk per turn. Upkeep effect? Rune Stalactite would be a decent draw here because it would save my Firebelly Changeling. Well, I'm going to cast this. Guess I'll play land first in case there's some sort of like mana leak effect. And we'll just see if it works or not. Assuming this is just getting countered too based on how my opponent's been playing. They're just being very reactive. Oh, they have a Cryptic command. That's pretty good. Alright. Doesn't mean too much if they're not going to add to the board in any meaningful way. Well, this is another thing that dies to Hurly-Burly. Pretty sure my opponent should be attacking now. Alright, that's actually not bad here. Makes me not want a Hurly-Burly. See what the opponent wants to do here. So, could play another Merfolk, tap 4, cast Summon to School. Ooh, Sower of Temptation. Taking Firebelly Changeling? No, taking the Blind Spot. Okay. Opponent's got some really good rares. Sower of Temptation, Cryptic Command, Sig, River Guide. These are all very good cards. Probably Hurly-Burly time now. Oaken Brawler. So we can do both of these things. I guess I'm going to attack with the Firebelly Changeling, since it's going to die to the Hurly-Burly. Unless my opponent's holding up another Cryptic Command. Sure. Alright, go ahead and... I don't even need to Hurly-Burly, do I? Let's do this. In fact, might be better not to. Another counterspell? Familiar's Ruse. Cast it. Sure. Okay, sure. So the opponent gets to bounce one of their permanents and counter a spell. And they get to sit behind Sower of Temptation. Ooh, Fallow Sage is a good one. Alright, and they're not going to play Sower of Temptation. That makes sense. Yep, knew that was going to happen. So we know about Sower, one other card. Still going to sit tight on Hurly-Burly. Going to next snap Fallow Sage here, I think. They are going to draw a card off of it. I am slowly dying too. Alright, let's do this in response. Ooh, play some 1 toughness creatures. Do it. Changeling Hero. Champion a creature. Lifelink. That's actually very strong. It's a 5 mana 4/4 lifelink. Alright, well now we're going to lose this game because my opponent's going to have the lifelink. We can't race them. We don't have much going on. They should probably even just Sower of Temptation this thing. Drowner of Secrets. Tap an untapped merfolk you control. Target player puts top card of their library into the graveyard. Okay. Okay, well that gives us a shot, I suppose. Does give him another merfolk. I guess I'm just gonna crib swap this now and then hurly burly. They didn't champion anything relevant. Each creature without flying. Just to get these 2 extra merfolk off the board. They're gonna mill me 2 in response. They milled Mold Drifter, Tar Pitcher, just all relevant spells, and another Hurly Burly. Oh no, Tar Pitcher, Mold Drifter. They didn't even use this. Ugh. Alright, opponent's got combos going on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna mill it out. Great Heart. Harbinger. Harbinger would have been a good one. Not really, because they can mill whatever. Thundercloud Shaman? Yeah. Alright, well that at the minimum kills Judge Occurrence and lets me attack, but then they get to go and Sower of Temptation it. So it's not insanely good, but it does let me get in this hit here. It does kill off their life gain thing. It does mean if I draw the other Thundercloud Shaman, I'm in... Oh, I guess I already drew the other Thundercloud Shaman. Alright, so we need an answer for Sower of Temptation, which we might not have. Both Lashouts, Tarfire, Glimmer Dust Snap. Alright, and go ahead and take this out. Oh, that's weird. Why not just go for Sower of Temptation? Because this has a chance of bricking. Sure, I won the clash there, so I get to keep my creature. Keep that on top. More threats can't be bad here. Yeah, why not just play the Sower? Alright, so... Yeah, I see what my opponent's doing there, but... doesn't seem necessary. Alright, so now my opponent's probably gonna use the Sower on Axe Grinder. Yep. That makes sense. And then if they take Thundercloud Shaman, I'm pretty dead. Island Mountain, so they don't take Thundercloud Shaman. What can we draw here that's even relevant? Put that on the bottom. Opponent revealed an island. I like my opponent's deck. It's pretty sweet. Definitely bringing in Wispmare here. They milled a Plains. Milled a Mountain. Alright, we're going to go and concede this game now because we're pretty dead. They can just mill us out over the course of the next 2 turns. And we'll see what's good against them. Wispmare seems very good. Goat Napper does not seem that great. Fault Grinder doesn't seem great. This thing seems a little bit better, but not by much. And this seems decent as well. And I don't have any more ways to take care of a Sower of Temptation. Those are all already in the deck, so I guess another Hurly Burly is fine, but not particularly spectacular. Anything here that's good? Nah. Captivating Glance? Nah, I'm not really digging that either. So, I don't really like the Stink Drinker here. And I'm not a huge fan of this 6/4 either, with them having multiple counter spells and stuff of that nature. So I think we're going to run it like this. And be a little more conservative with our removal spells because we know they're effective. Our opponent's got lots of good cards. Foul Sage, Sower of Temptation, Cryptic Command. This seems like a good start. Tarfire, again, just going to hold on until I feel like I have to kill something with this. It does kill most of their threats, too. And we saw at least 3 counter spells from the opponent: a Fairy Trickery, a Familiar's Ruse, and a Cryptic Command. Alright, that's not bad. A Blind Spot Goblin would, or a Blind Spot Giant would be pretty good here. Or any giant at all that I could cast early. Mold Drifter is going to be good at some point this game, I assume. Let's offer you the trade, my friend. Sure. Alright, Sig is going to bite the Tarfire, I think. Kind of have to make that happen, right? Ooh. No, that does mean I can cast Mold Drifter next turn. I'm not going to cast Wispmare. Probably just going to cast Mold Drifter, assuming they don't just leave up all their mana. Alright, that's Fallow Sage. Sure. Yeah, let's just cast Mold Drifter, or I could cast Harbinger and put Witchmacallit on top, but then they can plan around that. Mold Drifter also trades for this if they want to do something to it. Just going to do this. The draw 2 seems pretty... No, I didn't want to evoke that. Oh, no. Yeah, I clicked evoke. Shoot. I messed that up bad. Dang, I messed that up real bad. Alright. Why did I click evoke? I just wanted to cast it. God, that was so bad. Harbinger. Alright, alright. Go and put something on top of your library. Drowner of Secrets. That's okay. Opponent does get to draw this Drowner of Secrets. Man, I screwed up real bad. It's been happening a lot lately. I always get to the finals and make some sort of really egregious mistake. Yeah, that's not going to be great here. I guess we'll just let our opponent know that we have a Thundercloud Shaman. Use the ability. Let's go and grab. Yeah, we'll just grab it. Still the best card in our deck. If it kills Fallow Sage, that's fine. If they just pass and don't cast anything, that's pretty brutal. Alright, Sower on that thing is okay. And get the draw. I can't believe we messed up with the Mold Drifter. Mold Drifter being able to just threaten to trade for Fallow Sage is good. Alright, they know about this. We're going to play it out anyway because we don't have much of a choice. And hopefully we get the chance to play the other Thundercloud Shaman. If not, then we're in a lot of trouble. Especially with them having as many removal spells as they have. They're just snapping something off here. Yeah, we are in trouble. Is this a proactive? Oh no, this is the Changeling hero. That's going to champion what? The Harbinger? Or, yeah. When it leaves, I return to the battlefield. So it'll go back in under my control. Sower can attack. I guess that means if I kill Sower, it's no longer linked to that card. Alright, so Lash Out is something. So what can we do? The other Thundercloud Shaman is going to kill Sower plus Fallow Sage. Wismare not doing very much here. I would love to be able to go like Thundercloud Shaman plus Lash Out to kill off this Changeling. Then I get my Harbinger back. I don't have another giant I can put on the board to like set this up. So I think it's probably right to just kill these two off. Could even attack for 4 afterwards. Yeah, let's just do that. It doesn't even deal damage to the Changeling. And I'll offer my opponent the trade here. They're not going to take it for sure. Alright, do I block this thing if they attack? Seems suspicious. Drowner Secrets. Alright, cool. Well, we have a potential answer for that. They revealed a 3-drop, I revealed a Plains, so they're going to gain control of my thing. I'm going to put the Plains on the bottom. Draw a Mountain. So now, what do? We can go definitely Wismare on Captivating Glance. Yep, go and destroy that. Can attack with the Thundercloud Shaman. Oh no, do they still have it? What? Oh my god, it's not... Ugh, I did not know it would work like that. You gain control of it, it's not you control it. So now my opponent just permanently has this Thundercloud Shaman. I did not think it was going to work like that. Oh my god. Alright. Well, what I'm going to do is attack with my Thundercloud and hope they just block with a 4/4, and then I'll try Clopian Sight it or whatever. Well, again, just not knowing the cards in the format, I suppose. Jeez, that was egregious as well. I think my opponent's win con is Drowner of Secrets, so if I kill that, then maybe I'm fine. I think I'm going to do that now, just so they can mill me less. The mill actually does seem pretty relevant in this game. Blind Spot Giant, be okay. Oh, I guess they can mill me 3. The Mountain, sure. And a Mountain. Alright. I'll take all that. And we get a Clash here. Mountain to the bottom. Opponent revealing that same thing. Glimmer Dust Nap. See if they kept it on top, actually. Yeah, they put on the bottom. That's pretty good against my Vigilant thing. Another Captivating Glance. Alright, I can't believe... I guess I could have read it more carefully. It doesn't work the way I want it to work. Alright, we need to win some clashes here. Alright, I did win that clash. And we will keep that on top. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cast this bad boy. And what do we give the +2 to? Probably Wismare, just to guarantee that damage gets in there. Kind of want to kill this. Guess if the Changeling dies, I get my Harbinger back. Opponent took 8. Alright, what's coming here? What is this? The Mole Drifter. The properly evoked Mole Drifter, or non-evoked Mole Drifter. I wonder how much different this game would be going. Obviously, the Mole Drifter would be dead by now, but my opponent would probably be down 2 cards. Oh, they could have that Ruse thing as well. Judge of Currents to my Mountain. Okay, so my opponent won that one. We're going to put Mountain on the bottom. This is sick. At the beginning of your end step, too. Jeez, this is just ridiculous. And they got the Tapper. We're just going to lose this game. I guess that's something. Oh my god. I can't believe this works the way it works. I guess I mean, it is a trigger. I really had to hope that I got my creature back there, or didn't get it so I could keep pressuring them, because now they get a solid hit off this Changeling hero, too. Yep. Okay. This is all well and good, I suppose. Opponent's going to gain 1,000,000 life this turn. I'm going to try to trade Lash Out plus the Inner Flame for this Changeling. Can't imagine that's actually going to work. Actually, I might not even be able to do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I suppose I can do that. I guess I should do this before blocks 2, just in case my Lash Out gets countered, which it feels like it's going to. Opponent's looking through their hand. Yeah, shoot, they have the counter spell too. Ugh. And they got to bounce what back to their hand? Stony Brook Angler? Why not Mole Drifter? Alright, now I kind of have to win this this flip right now. Tar Pitcher to Plains. Alright, we won that one. Keep Tar Pitcher on top. Draw Tar Pitcher. Can attack for 5. Gotta bear in mind they can tap my flyer next turn. Alright, well the 5 damage is free. Woo! We are getting destroyed this game. I'm at 3. I think I'm actually just dead this game. When it enters the battlefield clash, if you win, put a 1/1 counter on it. Okay. Oblivion Ring to my plane, so that means my opponent's going to take control of my Thundercloud too on end step. So 2 huge mess ups this game was not casting Mole Drifter and also messing up that Wismare. Also, my opponent winning more clashes than me is bad. Huh. I'm just going to let that resolve. We're going to go, I guess, get this off the board. So I have to block here and then go block, block. I'm just dead this game. And then they can tap my flyer down next turn and just attack me. Alright, what giant do I have that can save me here? Crib Swap. That's a giant. Put it on top. It also means my opponent won't actually win the clash this turn. We figured it out, boys. I think I'm actually just dead, though. They can tap one of my creatures and just come in for the win. Alright, so we see the power of Merfolk here. Definitely pretty good. Tap that down. Yeah, I'm dead if they attack with all 4 creatures, even if I crib swap something. And the O-ring, right, forgot about that one. Alright, we got outplayed here by A, our opponent, and B, not knowing a couple of the interactions. Also just messing that up was a huge mistake, but overall I think this was a very fun set of matches. My Thunder Cloud Shamans did not do the trick for me this game, unfortunately. And I still would have been in bad shape either way, but we let him draw free cards off Fallow Sage, and we let him do a couple things that we shouldn't have let him do to us. But at any rate, we know a little bit more about the interactions in the set, and hey, I might draft this again a couple times if you're interested. Of course, let me know in the comments below. I only did it because a couple people said that they were interested in seeing a Lorwyn draft, and it was definitely fun to play, despite getting destroyed that last game. But anyway, thank you all for watching. As always, I hope you appreciate the random content in the middle of all of our Dominaria drafting. And I hope to see you guys next time. There might be a late video next week because I will be going to GP DC. So if you're there, see you there. And if not, I'll see you when we get back to recording Dominaria. But thanks for watching. My name is Timothy with Mana Rocks, and I'll see y'all next time.